famously stays away from anything it considers political. But unlike the political intricacies involved with the movement in the US, BLM support in Britain simply meant standing up to and against racism. Bull. No, it didn't. They tore down statues and threw it in the bloody Thames. They were rioting. They were desecrating monuments. They were causing all sorts of vandalism and property damage, and there were acts of violence.
Well, and also, it's not
to
about
say it was just standing up against racism.
But also, it's not about standing up. I thought it was about taking a knee.
That's right. We did have taking the knee. So that in itself, this entire book is an exercise in gaslighting.
Correct.
And that's why we're suffering through it, so you don't.
Be thankful. Be very thankful. And furthering the gaslighting, but also going pretty low here, is to make the point about Harry and Meghan, we have to go back to see the fundamental roots in racism of the royal family and also their associations with the Nazis.
So we're going back to the 1930s here.
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
This is very odd. All right. Unless we forget the Duke of Windsor's disturbing relationship with Adolf Hitler and the infamous images of Queen Elizabeth II as a young, no doubt innocent girl, giving the Nazi salute, an image the institution is desperate to bury.
Well, yes.
She was a... Oh,
she
anyway,
was a child.
the royal...
okay, sorry.
No, please. The royal family spent much of the 20th century dealing with and often trying to cover up race scandals.
What? No.
The Queen as a kid... All right, the Queen as a kid. But again, the suggestion being, oh, see, it was so frequently mentioned around the house that she just thought she might be able to give it a little mention here or there.
You can't say something that ridiculous, like they've spent much of the 20th century dealing with and trying to cover up race scandals. Yeah, name them. Name them.
Prince Philip.
Name them.
Prince Philip.
Name them.
Prince Philip. That's the scandal.
That's the 20th century, is it? That's the 20th century for you.
He did say some weird stuff.
He did say some weird stuff, but that's not... I mean, they've had a lot of scandals to deal with. They've had a lot of things they would like underreported, but race wasn't at the centre of probably 95% of it, if not more. Yes, Prince Philip did provide some moments, didn't he? He was, as they say, of a different era.
Yes, yes.
Let's now ponder the pain, the anguish Meghan has been subjected to.
Oh, it must be so difficult. And this was just, after she left Deal or No Deal.
She could have had a fulfilling life opening and closing little briefcases, but here we are. Page 159. The palace's obvious indifference to Meghan's predicament sent an undeniable message to people of colour everywhere. I know, I was shook.
To little black princesses everywhere in the world. Really?
Even a person of colour like Meghan, an admittedly white passing and privileged biracial woman...
What does that mean?
...is still subject to racial bias and gaslighting in a publicly funded institution that is globally celebrated by leaders and kingmakers. The royal establishment's reluctance to speak out against the racism or to at least protect a victim of it among their own ranks indicates how retrograde thinking still poisons the heart of this often revered family operation.
The fundamental issue about Meghan is not about race. It's that she never wanted to play along with the institution. She never understood the institution having a hierarchy to it, right? She thought, my awesomeness gets to come in where I get to marry someone 458th in line to the throne, but my awesomeness will mean that the people will suddenly rise us up to number one. So she never seemed to understand that she was never going to end up as the Queen of England, right? But she wanted to carry on like she was the inevitable Queen of England. And guess what? The institution went, sorry, in this institution, which is about hierarchy, you have a place. And your place is not future queen.
It was, but it wasn't like she was, in the outer family. She was still in the core, and I think she knew precisely what she was getting into, because you listen to some of the accounts of her childhood friends. This was something that was of great interest to her. So I think becoming a princess and having that title was something that she absolutely coveted. But I think she thought it was just going to be all champagne and celebrities and adulation, not realising, one, of course you're going to have media scrutiny, you're a high-profile person. Two, the day-to-day tasks of a royal are pretty mundane and boring. If they're not glamorous, it's turning up to events with community groups and putting in the hours every day doing that. And I don't think that's her style.